If you're tired of hitting a plateau but still dream of breaking barriers, then this podcast is your game changer. Dive into the dynamic world of ergonomics and mental performance. Whether you are an athlete striving for victory or a business champion aiming to sharpen your mental edge, this podcast has the insights you need. Join us as we explore the three pillars of performance: physical, cognitive, and technical. Ignacio Segovia, yes, the renowned ergonomist from Nanterre University in Paris, is here to translate complex science into practical coaching. Imagine boosting your physical performance with tailored techniques, enhancing your mental acuity for those critical moments, and mastering the art of teamwork with simple strategies. Ignacio's expertise will guide you through it all, so gear up, because this podcast is your ticket to unlocking unprecedented levels of performance. Subscribe now and transform the way you train, think, and succeed. Your peak performance journey starts here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this podcast. My name is Ignacio Segovia, your mental performance coach, and I'm mental performance coach for athletes and business champions. And I know there are many things that are very easy to grasp, things that jump to the eye very easily. For example, that I'm Latino. I'm Latino. My intro have a Latino music in the background. That's easy to understand that I'm Latina, like Latin music. There are many things, especially on this area of ergonomics, that are not simple to understand. So, Ignacio, what is that of a mental performance coach for athletes, business champion? Can you explain me? Because if you ask my family and my friends, they will tell you, like, Ignacio is coaching athletes? That's crazy. Well, if I tell a story about me, when I was at high school, my lovely teacher in sports, Abel Figueira, it was very funny, his relationship with me. We were good friends, and he helped me to pass. I need to confess, he helped me to pass the sport credits. He always screamed at me, "Okay, Segovia, 2 more laps and I will pass you." So if you know my past, I'm not this sport guy. Even though I'm a first degree in black belt in Kung Fu, I don't see myself as a great fighter. I did Kempo Karate and I did Judo, and I know some stuff there, but I don't like to fight. Actually, I just do it for the exercise and the sportsmanship and the discipline, and I like it. So why, Ignacio, you are coaching athletes? And coaching athletes because I have a lot of knowledge in the area. I have a master degree in ergonomics. Ergonomics is the science of an activity, on a human science that study people doing their jobs, their work, and based on what the person is performing, we just observe, analyze in 3 basic areas. We analyze the physical, the cognitive, and also we analyze the technical, how is socially accepted, or what are the best practice socially accepted by the group that is practicing those things. So my discipline allowed me to go into a production line, go into a petroleum platform, or just observe someone doing their business in their office, or an athlete performing the sport. I can understand the pieces. I can understand the biomechanics. I can understand the cognitive things that are necessary for the process, and also how socially the activities structure to share the best practice on X or Y sport. That's the reason why I'm a professional trained to observe, analyze, and based on science, uh, uh, what is happening there. So I have the capacity to use scientific process to improve any kind of activity. In this case, I'm dedicated to sports and business nowadays. And why mental performance? Well, mental performance is one of the three pillars of performance. You have physical performance, mental performance, physical performance, mental performance, and technical performance. And my expertise is in mental performance. I have a background in psychology. I have a master's degree in psychology and ergonomics. And mental performance is my area of expertise. And in that area of expertise, I range from clinical psychology or psychotherapy that I no longer practice to positive psychology, that is the area of psychology that's dedicated to the human potential to help people thrive, to help people flourish. And in that positive psychology, I combine the techniques of positive psychology with coaching. And coaching is mainly the technique to take a person from point A to point B. That's the reason why it's called coaching, because it's original from a French word that expressed a car that took a person from one point to another. And in this case, I use language, psychotherapy, psychology. The main tool to create change is language, is a talking process. And that talking process also involves images, because we communicate with our brain in words and images. So that's my expertise. I'm a mental performance coach for athletes and business champions. And this podcast is about this. This podcast is how we apply science, how we apply the knowledge that is created or absorbed by science in real life, and how we transform things that are solid in science to an art. Because even though psychology is based on science, when you take it to regular life, is actually an art, because each person is different, each person is in different conditions. So the variables that you need to adjust as a scientist, there are so many that there is a point in the practice that the science gets transformed in art. And this is very important to understand future things on this podcast, and the way that we execute things. Because there is a point where you need to trust in your practitioner, in the knowledge that, in this case, myself as a mental performance coach, you need to believe on that practitioner, and to believe in the training that practitioner have based on science to dance or paint your life. Because there's so many variables that it is an art when the practitioner adapt the process to the client. And in this case, I use coaching, because coaching is a structure that can help people in steps to achieve their goal in short, medium, and long time settings. And it's a very powerful tool. So I use solid ground science to help you as an athlete or as a business person to achieve your goals. And that's the main point of this podcast. Okay. So this is the first session. I'm not going deep today into the content. I just wanted to introduce myself, to introduce the podcast, and to introduce the science of ergonomics and my practice as a mental performance coach for athletes and business champions. And also, I wanted to give you some details on the process of this podcast. Sometimes you will find in the podcast that I'm talking like this, a free talk of my ideas or what is in my mind. And is I will invite people to talk and present their ideas, and we'll talk in this format, in a very free and open format. But also, you will find that in another sessions, in different session of this podcast, you will find me reading in a very solid, straight voice. That type of content are they will be designed on that way because it is important that you get the information. Another of my good capacities is that I'm a hypnotist. I'm a hypnotist and a trainer. So I train people in how to do hypnosis. And hypnosis have different variables. They are not just this show that you go and you bark like a dog and and you do like a chicken. It's not the point on this podcast to do that. But I know how to use my voice, how to use the structure of the words to guide you in different process. It can be in a deep trance, and when I do the sessions on deep trance, I will tell you at the beginning that you need to listen those sessions in a comfortable place, without distractions, without any kind of activity that need your attention. You cannot do those sessions driving or working or doing anything. You need to go and meditate, because it's a meditation process. You will go deep into that trance process. I will tell you at the beginning of those sessions. Don't worry about it. But also, you will have other sessions that I will present a big chunk of information or theoretical content that I will read in a solid pattern of voice, and that is to help you to memorize and to get that information. You will be able to drive without problems, so you can listen to those episodes during exercises or at the gym or driving. And the idea of those episodes is to communicate solid theoretical information that is important to grasp profoundly. So in those cases, I will have a solid voice, and I will be reading those episodes. So you will have these different interactions. Me talking like this, myself doing interviews to other professionals that will provide you with knowledge, and also you will get these theoretical classes and deep meditation. Those are the type of materials that you will find in the podcast. I hope you enjoy it, and more than that this material can help you to reach the next level in your mental performance. Thank you very much for being here, and see you in our next session.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mental Performance 365 podcast, where we've explored the intricacies of mental performance for athletes and business champions. Remember, each day is an opportunity to enhance your mental strength and elevate your performance to new heights. As we close this episode, reflect on the power of ergonomics in optimizing physical and mental capabilities. Whether it's honing your bodily performance, sharpening your mental prowess, or championing technical excellence within your team, the key lies in consistent growth and development. Visit mentalperformance365.com, your guide in translating the science of ergonomics into practical coaching lessons, or WhatsApp us to +195 44 66 70 90 +195 44 66 70 90. Stay tuned on this journey to unlock your full potential and achieve unparalleled success in both sports and business. Stay committed to your mental performance journey and watch as you reach unprecedented heights of excellence. Thank you for listening, and remember, mental performance is a daily practice that leads to extraordinary outcomes.